Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the work of Dr. Michael Lukens and his incredible rules for, well, the game of life. We're going to build a powerful framework, a set of principles for living at your absolute best.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? How do you actually play this game well? Dr. Lukens gives us this amazing set of rules of thumb that build on each other, starting from our everyday interactions and climbing all the way up to our deepest sense of who we are.
You know, we've all seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? That classic pyramid. But Dr. Lukens says, hey, maybe we should start somewhere different. Not with survival, but with connection. So today, we're going to build his model, a ladder of becoming, that's going to guide us from our relationships all the way up to self-realization.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the foundation of human connection, and then we're going to climb all the way to the summit of personal growth. We'll look at the obstacles and the master skills we need to get there. So let's start at the bottom rung.
So the base of our pyramid, that first rung on the ladder, it's not about food or shelter like in Maslow's model. It's all about how we connect with other people. And Dr. Lukens has this simple but incredibly powerful formula for it.
I mean, look at it. It sounds so simple, right? But this single idea sets up two absolutely crucial pillars for any healthy relationship. Doesn't matter if it's with your partner, your friends, or your family.
And here's the magic. On one side, you have total respect for autonomy, the freedom to say no without feeling guilty. And on the other, you have what he calls co-inspiration, that genuine, heartfelt desire to say yes. When you have both, you get rid of obligation and you create a real, authentic desire to be together.
Because here's the thing, and Dr. Lukens nails it with this quote, this formula builds safety. It creates the bedrock that allows love and belonging to actually grow. It's what gives us a secure footing to climb higher. But what gets in the way?
All right, so the biggest obstacle we face isn't something out there, it's internal. It's a state of being that Dr. Lukens calls the pain preoccupation. And man, it can bring our growth to a screeching halt. Just think about it. When you get hurt, really hurt, what's your first instinct? It's to protect yourself, right? To build up walls. It's totally natural. But when that defensiveness becomes your number one priority, you fall into a really dangerous trap. This is what he calls the ultimate stuckness phase. Any chance for growth becomes impossible because our main goal isn't to thrive anymore. It's just to not get hurt again. All our energy just goes into defense.
Dr. Lukens has this incredible metaphor to explain what's going on inside us when we're in this state. He talks about driving a car and what happens to our most important values.
So picture this. Your defenses, they're the ones driving the car. They're in total control, focused only on avoiding another crash. Your conscience, that little voice that knows better, it gets shoved in the back seat and told to shut up. And your highest ideals, love, purpose, growth, they get locked away in the trunk. You can't even hear them anymore.
So that sounds pretty bleak, right? How do you get out of that car? How do you escape this trap? The key, according to Dr. Lukens, is a huge shift in perspective, away from desperate control and towards, you guessed it, acceptance.
He gives us another amazing visual. Think about a surfer. They are facing this immense, uncontrollable power of the ocean. There's no way they can command the wave or bend it to their will, and yet, they can do something incredibly graceful and beautiful with it.
And that right there, that is the master skill. Life is the wave. It's a process that we ultimately can't control. So the goal isn't to fight it. The real A game is to stop fighting, accept where it's going, and learn how to navigate it with skill, to learn how to surf.
You know, this connects to something really profound. When we can truly accept our own cosmic insignificance, and he's not saying this in a depressing way at all, we can let go of the attachments that cause us so much pain. It's not a cynical, nothing matters. It's a liberating one.
So the actual practice is simple, but definitely not easy. First, you have to recognize the wave, see what's really outside of your control. Then, you have to stop fighting it. And finally, you redirect all that wasted energy from fighting into surfing, into navigating what's right in front of you.
Okay, so when we get our relationships right, when we escape that pain trap, and when we master the art of letting go, we finally reach the summit of our ladder. And this is where we get to engage in what Dr. Lukens calls aspirational love.
At this highest level, you get it. You understand that true love, deep commitment, it's going to involve pain sometimes. It's just part of the deal. But instead of seeing that pain as a failure or a reason to run back to your defenses, you see it as an opportunity, a test to show how deep your love actually is.
So what's the payoff? Why would you do this?
the reward is so profound. It's not about what you get from the other person. The reward is intrinsic. It's the fulfillment of living by your highest values, of actually becoming the kind of person who can love that deeply. And this leads us to the final beautiful paradox of it all.
So you're at this highest level of self-realization, and someone asks you a simple question. Who are you? The answer isn't some fixed label. The answer reveals that the identity is the journey. It's a process. It's always in motion.
And this is the paradox that lies at the very heart of becoming. The goal isn't to arrive at a fixed point where you can say, I know who I am. It turns out that the constant work of becoming is the only way we get to know who we truly are in the first place.
So the big takeaway from this entire framework is this. Self-realization isn't some peak you conquer and then you're done. The whole point is the continuous, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling act of climbing itself.
And that's our deep dive into Dr. Lukens' framework. It leaves us with one final thought to take with us. If the whole point is the process, the becoming, what small, intentional step can you take on your own path today?